Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. What's up, Miss Bonnie? What's up, Linda? What's up, user? Jamil? What's up, Land Cross? What's up, Nick? So we're going to speak on, because 2026 is here. We're in the third month of 2026. So you basically got 9 months to go before we're in 2027. So them 9 months, you can be planning what you're going to do with your finance. Finance is something that we should talk about every day. I just had a conversation with somebody that said the other day, we was in here arguing for an hour over some damn tires. But we want to argue over finance. We want to argue over credit, business, entrepreneurship, real estate, stock market. So we got to start changing mindset. And I got to start changing my mindset, because I shouldn't waste a lot of energy on conversation. Also had another conversation, and I said we should focus more on education. It turned into a debate because they talking about sports. Sports is the bridge. We all know some great athletes in every state, every city, in every county that didn't go anywhere. We know majority of them don't even go to college. If they do college, they don't finish. So they still a failure when it comes down to that. But if you instill education in your child, you instill finance in your child, you instill entrepreneurship in your child and credit, they got a great chance of surviving in the real world. Now, I'm reading a book about the Jews. This guy said that you only have 1% of the Jewish population that ever worked manual labor. He said during these situations and from history all the way up to the Holocaust, they was always ostracized and had to do things for themselves. So they became merchants. And by them being merchants, people had to deal with them. So they started the banking system with the Rothschilds. So now everybody had to come through them for finance, for business, for credit, whatever. So they used their brains instead of sitting there complaining, talking about white supremacy, black supremacy, racism, like the black people do, the black fatigue shit. They utilize that shit to their advantage, like we did with Black Wall Street, Rosewood, and other great black communities in the United States of America. Now we just scream at racism, black fatigue, and we putting ourselves at a disadvantage. Now, when it comes down to wealth, the first thing he said in one of his chapters is that when other races and nationalities are buying their children tennis shoes, we buying them stocks. They said you would see a multi-millionaire walk around with an $8 t-shirt on, but you look in the African American community, a person don't have $8 in the bank, but they didn't save enough money up to get some flipping paint, some 26-inch rims, and some jewelry. That's cloudy, that's old. You have a 15-year-old Rolex on you to get this man $15,000 for. Shit, you might as well sell it for $30,000 to get you a brand new timepiece. He said also, when you're thinking about buying your kid Xboxes and buying your kids cars, their first car, we buying them their first piece of rental properties. So that's a different mindset. But we should be able to learn from other nations, other cultures, other religions, other faith. But we don't. We look down on these people, and these people are giving us the information that we need daily to be wealthy. The stock market is one place. What's up, printing a blockchain? The stock market is one place that is not racist. What up, nephew? There's no racism in the fucking stock market. And I'm looking at people like, damn, y'all don't have a clue on this shit. Y'all let every other nationality come over here and get wealthy off our struggles. They come in here and get so damn wealthy, they got their own community where they speak in their own languages. They don't speak English anymore. You go to Chinatown. You go to Asian town, you go to Mexican town. Everybody speaking their own language in their own community, and they immigrants. We were born and raised over here, and we below everyone when it come down to the wealth factor. You got the Asians, you got the Jews, you got the Latino Hispanics, the Russians. The even LGBT community is making more money than African American community. We're the lowest of the low, but we spend a lot of money on bullshit. We sit there and spend $1.5 to $1.6 trillion each year. We spend billions of dollars on Christmas. for a kid to play with that toy for 2 months, throw it away. We spend billions on Valentine's Day. What the fuck you wasting some money on Valentine's Day? It's another dumb day. Sweetest day, all these dumbass holidays. But we don't have no capital. We're not building no infrastructure. And then you talking about we need to be separated. How are we going to separate somebody who owns us? If you put a restaurant in a black community, they're going to say it overpriced. But you put that Mexican restaurant or white restaurant or Italian restaurant or the Asian restaurant in our community, they're going to say the price is okay. So what are we going to keep doing? Why are we keep deceiving ourselves? Why are we keep deceiving ourselves? Why are we not waking up every day and speaking on money? Like President Blockchain, that's all he talk about. He talking about the blockchain, cryptocurrency. Why nobody following these people pages? Why nobody waking up saying, man, what is my next financial move? How am I going to do this? And I tell people it's extremely simple. Being in the stock market is not no big boogeyman, nothing to be afraid of. Who is this motherfucker going to come and take you out your house at night and lynch you? It's not going to happen. The stock market is for everybody. Every country have a stock market. I got funds that cater to the overseas markets. All you got to do is get off social media, pick up your phone and call a 1-800 number. You can look for Charles Schwab, Vanguard, TD Ameritrade, BlackRock, and get on there with a financial advisor. The financial advisor is going to tell you exactly what you need to do. You don't need a marketing guru from Facebook talk about how much money I make fucking day trading because he got a 15-year-old Ferrari in his car. You don't know what 15 years old because you really never seen one in your community, and he got a vet or some shit, or he taking pictures in somebody else's Lambo that he renting for $3,500 a day. Come on, y'all, let's stop being fooled because they got this jewelry on. That don't mean they know what they talking about. A lot of them end up building a platform 10 years ago when a lot of people wasn't catering to social media. I didn't get in social media to the pandemic. I wasn't looking at Netflix, none of that shit. So a lot of people came up already. They had a following. So people thinking that by them have big followers and big numbers, and they had some celebrities on there trying to build up their platform, they networking, that they're making money. No, a lot of these celebrities are broke. A lot of these rappers are broke. A lot of the entertainers are broke. Now, I ain't going to say a lot of athletes in the pro sector who really had a good contact is broke, but a lot of movie stars and actors and people like that, they fucking broke. Even on the reality show, some of them might start out $10,000 to $15,000. Then they might get big and go to $100,000, $500,000 cause they got a big name like Candy and all them. But you can't base it on that. Don't base motherfucker getting money because they on social media and they showing your cars and jewelry. Because that is not wealth. Building wealth is silent. Motherfuckers loud. I can go out and walk in a bar. I know who getting money, who ain't. I own a shop. I own businesses. I know who broke when I see him on social media. Like, damn, these motherfuckers faking it good. I can't even figure that damn good. And I got 5 or 6 businesses. I'm in the stock market. I'm in crypto. I'm in the real estate. And I can't figure like that. I say, man, these people really faking it good. And they comfortable with doing that. But you shouldn't be comfortable with faking it. Get wealthy and look poor. Don't look rich and be poor. Hell no. Build up something. What's up, Chi-Town? Build up something that you can constantly keep growing with. Thank you for the light. Thank you for the light. What's up, Goddess? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Everybody follow Maz. Everybody follow Big Mom. Everybody follow Chi-Town. This is the follows or follow. The more I see your name pop up, the more I'll be able to give you a shout out. Everybody follow Maz. So these are the people you can follow because they tapping the screen. Also, the follow for follow. And I try to tell people constantly, stop listening to people because they sound intelligent. See me, I don't dislike people. I don't hate people. I don't hold grudges towards people. So me and person can have an argument, a debate, and the next day I'm treating it the same way like I treat everybody else. So I would never miss a good message. Some people miss a lot of opportunity and good messages because they can have a hardness of their heart. They miss opportunities. And you should never want to put yourself in that situation where your emotion override your logics. you miss a lot of opportunity, especially in the African American community. We can't let go. It's a lot of people with so much wealth of information that you'll be shocked that they can change your life overnight. You don't know who's sitting in the room. They can 10x to 20x your life overnight. Just say you're worth 100,000. They 10x, that 10,000, they 20x overnight, that 20,000 you done made. But people miss opportunity because their personality, their attitude, their envy, their jealousy, their anger, their lack of emotional intelligence. You can't do that when you're trying to grow in life. You don't want to keep being around your homies and homegirls and all y'all can do is wait for the weekend to get high and drink and party. You want to be around people who you never would have thought you had anything in common with them. 99.9% of all the businesses I ever started because somebody else had the other ideal, the vision, or the capital. From the barbershop to the group home, to the stores, to the motherfucking real estate, to the stock market, to the cryptocurrency, somebody else had a vision. But I'm a gut listener and follower, and I'm not a jealous type person, and they feeds off that. See, people can feel you and sense that you're an evil, demonic, narcissistic asshole. And they ain't gonna really want to deal with it. They gonna know you're gonna cross them. They gonna watch your moves. See, me, if we say we're gonna do something together, if we find out of the mall, you're gonna get your 250. I'm gonna get my 250. I'm not gonna play that game because I know in long term, we're gonna be able to make a lot of money together. And we're gonna constantly keep growing and growing and growing. See, I love the art of networking. Another guy came to me. He has a lot of houses, maybe close to 30 properties, but he didn't have nothing out for rent. And he up in age, almost 70, so he said he wasn't going to buy no more properties. But one of his friends had started a business, and he needed some properties. And the reason he needed the properties to get started and going because he catering to people coming out of the state and federal system that's homeless. It's almost like a group home, with it like a transition home. I happen to have 2 pieces of property that nobody was renting out that I had just got together. He ended up renting them from me. And I charged him $1,500 a piece because he's my dude. And they got to pay all utilities. But this is the funny thing about that. He ended up giving me another $2,250 on each piece of the property because the kind of money they're making. So I'm making an extra $4,500 for giving them an opportunity to run their businesses from our properties. Because we know each other. We know each other from the 80s. We know each other from the hustle game. We also did time in prison together. So we like brotherhood and like they my big unks. See, them the kind of people you want to be around. No, I'm not part of their business. No, I don't know nothing about recovering your houses, homeless centers, none of that shit. But they still give me an opportunity to make some money with them outside of them renting from me. Most people, friends, is not going to do that because they made so much money back in the 80s and 90s that money doesn't mean until they know the friendship, the loyalty, and the networking, and the relationship is more important. Because when I was out there getting bricks or birds, whatever y'all want to call them, I don't know what they call them nowadays, I didn't mind from the dude 2 bricks. Now the person getting 30 or 40 bricks, he might get dude 8 ball or something. He gonna make sure you don't come up, but he gonna keep you making enough money where you still that you don't need him, but you do need him. They ain't gonna let you get enough money where you might break off one day because you might be a better hustler than him or her. But I would never like that. I'm gonna let you know where I'm getting my work at because I didn't give a fuck because I had my people and I had my people gonna be loyal. Because if I turn you on and then you go behind me, I know you went low anyway. I don't want you around anyway, so I'm gonna let you do your thing because I know my stuff gonna stay solid because I don't go against my people. When I came home, so my people got back in the game. They pulled up on me. They were gonna make sure I'm gonna eat. I told them I was cool. It's gonna be another way I can find out how to get some money. I use prison as an Ivy League school. You got some brilliant people in there. You got people that are lawyers in there, doctors, professors, you know, business owners on a high scale. I learned a lot of things from them. So when they told me to start reading books and let books be my mentor, So the book started raising me in prison. I came out maybe with a doctor's degree in finance, in real estate, and the stock market. I just had to get out here and utilize this shit in real world situations. So once I got out here and used in a real world situation, I'm like, damn, when I was making all this money on the street hustling, if I'd have knew just 10% of the information, I'd have been multi. But I didn't have none of the information. I didn't even have credit. I came home and tried to get a credit card. The lady said, you don't even have a credit history. Never had a credit card. I never had a bank account. The federal government said at one point, under my investigation for 18 months, they had me making $250,000 a week. That's what they say. And I didn't have a credit card. I didn't have a business account. I didn't even have a life insurance policy. I didn't have no medical. I didn't have a bank account. But I'm making all this damn money because I was limited with the knowledge. Now that I had the same knowledge, if I'd have had that same money just for maybe 3 months, I would never have to work again in my life. Because I could have took that $3 million, just say I was making $1 million a month, could have took that $3 million, give 10% off that shit monthly, or if I'd have made 10% that year off it, I could have lived off that. That $22,000 to $23,000 per month, I could live off that. Never would have had to do another crime in my life. And then sometimes you might get 20%, 30% in the market in S&P 500. But see, we got to change our mindset. We got to let the market work for us. If you have a job, the 7 people here, would y'all please tap and follow for follow. If you have a job, if you're on the platform right now, if you go to your human resource department, I guarantee you, they got a 401k and they going to match it. They might say, you put in 3%, we put in 3%. Now, just say you put in that 3% and they match 3%. They made 30% this year on your money. They still gain 24%. They gained 24% because they giving you back your 3 and their 3. So that's 24% they didn't gain. What's up, Anthony? Everybody please follow Anthony Hall. And they're going to gain. So you got 20,000 people that doing a monthly contribution from their income, and they just mentioned 3%. You know how much money a company make? That's why a lot of companies have no matching funds like that, because they pulling your money in there. They not losing anything. Because their thing is, even though I make 10% or 7%, they still gain. They make 4%. So they constantly making money off your money. And that we got to start doing. Don't have a lot of money in the bank. Have money in the bank for emergency fund. Then put the rest of your money in investment. Because I haven't met anyone that I know that actually been working for 30 years, became a millionaire, unless they invested their money in a 401k in the stock market. If they don't have a 401k and maximize it for 30 years, they ain't going to be a millionaire when they retire. Now, is there some people who did that? Yes. And I know they made millions. But you maybe got 70 to 80% of the African American people, and I'm going to say Latino, Hispanic, don't pull any money into the stock market. They don't pull no money into the stock market. And it's kind of disheartening that people don't utilize that to their advantage, because you cannot work your way to wealth. You're not going to be able to work your way to wealth. I'm going to show you a prime example. I'm going to say, I always go to 30 years old, because a person from 18 to 21, they might be in college. From 21 to 30, they barely got their life together. You graduated in college, maybe with a master's degree. Now you're going into the workforce. By the time you get 30, you got an income coming in. You still have 35 years to invest in an S&P 500. If you take $500 per month for them 35 years and come back with 10% each year, you'll be a millionaire. If you take $1,000 a month for them 35 years at 10%, you will have about 2.5 million. If you take $1,500 and it's gonna go up, because you got 35 years of compound interest. 35 years. But we ain't taught that. We start investing very late. We start investing very late. But it's okay. It's better late than never, because you could be a 50-year-old individual and invest all the way up to your 70, right? They say you invest all the way up to your 70. If you can come up anywhere from $1,400 to $1,500 per month, you still to become a millionaire in the S&P 500. It might be 1.1 or 1.3 million. I can't really remember the numbers, but you still be a millionaire and you can invest $1,300 to $1,500 per month. So it's still ways for you to smash your goal. We know 20 years, 30 years from now, $1 million ain't gonna be shit. You're gonna have a Honda gonna be close to $1 million. A Tahoe gonna be 400,000. An Escalade gonna be $500,000 because you got them cars costing 200 plus now. So after a while, we know $1 million ain't gonna be that much money, but it's still enough money for where you can sustain the last part of your life. So you gotta make sure you start using the stock market as your advantage. What's up, Anthony? Everybody, please follow Anthony Hall and Beast Mode. If you don't do that, you're doing yourself a disservice. I've been home 20 years, going on 21 years. I've been in the market since 2007. The market had changed my fucking life overnight. It had changed my life overnight. Even with crypto, I was over 6 figures in crypto before the market started going down, but it didn't go back up. I got the same positions. And in the real estate game, I need to get in. Thank you. Yes, see what you need to do. I think I say user. Get a name up there for people to know who you are. What you need to do, just get on the phone and call any brokerage company. Tell them what's your financial goal, and they would sit down with your agent and you go through your financial goals. But see, the most important thing about the financial part is making sure that you had discipline and you focused and you know how much you want to invest in your financial freedom. Question for you, I got 50 grand in savings. Where would you park it in 2 to 3 years? To be honest, I'm not going to give you no financial advice, but if I had 50 grand to invest, I would put in the S&P 500. Because these are the ones that I feel dear to, the one I will invest my 50K. Not telling anybody else to invest, but this one I will invest my 50K in. No, that's what I would do with my 50K. And what you can do, you can go back and Google all that, look up the information, or you can call Vanguard. Vanguard VOO, Vanguard VTI, Vanguard VGT, and VASQ QQQ, and Roth IRA. You can't go wrong with that because I'm going to ask you a question. Anthony, how old are you? Because see, you got that 50 grand that's sitting in a savings or checking account. It making no money for it. It's just sitting there making money for the bank. Anthony, what's your age? I'm about to show you something. Okay, you over 60. You take that 50,000 and you can Google it yourself. You put it to an S&P 500. You get 10% back for the next 10 years. That 50,000 still might turn to 300,000 or 400,000 for you. But you still got to make a monthly contribution. Just say you put in $1,500 a month in the S&P 500 for that 10 years, you still gonna have like $500,000 or more. So it's still ways for you can make money. But that $60,000 just sitting there is doing you a disservice. Now, do I have X amount of dollars in my accounts? Yes, I do. I have several business accounts, have a personal account and savings account at different branches. But I use that, the savings account for emergency fund, the checking account to pay each one of my bills each month I ain't got going to. And then I have another emergency fund with my credit union. So, and I have my business account because if I need to buy something for the business or something break down or something mess up, I can go get that money out of the business account. So you need to let your money that's sitting in the bank be utilized if something happens. Like at the end of the year, the money, because I put money in there, a percentage, each one of them counts. Now, just at the end of the year, I don't have no problem with one of the real estate properties. Guess what? I take that percentage out and put it into an investment account. Like today, I went to the group home, and the washing machine is messed up. So, but I have insurance to get the washing machine fixed. But a guy gonna say, "Oh, boo." So I had to call a guy, a pest control, to go over there to make sure that ain't no bed bugs or anything, because they end up getting a new client over there, and dude said he had a bug in his bed. So hold up, let me call these people today. So they come out tomorrow, do a full inspection to make sure they don't. If we do, we own it, because the dude only been there a couple of weeks. And now I told everybody, make sure them people watch everything they got. All their sheets, their blanket, their clothes, even their clothes that they got in their drawer, and make sure they should have watched in extremely hot water and dry on the highest setting. Everybody. Everything got to be scrubbed, the rooms and everything. But if you do have bed bugs, we can catch it now at the early stages. You know what I'm saying? Where you don't have to take all the furniture out, get it clean, steam clean, and they can come in there and do their thing with the pest control. So you have money for that. So it was not a hardship that I said, well, I got to wait till I get a check. I got to wait the next month because I just spent money on this. No, I always make sure I put out a rainy day fund. I had to get 2 new tires. I had no problem going there into the emergency fund because that's that money for. So everything that I build up, I don't have to stress over because something happened. I can go to the fund, or I can pull out my business card. Right? I can pull out the business card also and make it as a tax write-off. See, when I get the receipt back, this shit gonna be a tax write-off because it's for business purposes. The pest control. And people don't realize this is how you gotta start thinking. You gotta utilize every dollar that you get to make dollars for you. Money shouldn't be sitting there. So with that 50K, that's what I think you should do. That's not financial advice. That's what I would do. And you can look them funds up, or you can call a financial broker and ask them what you should do with it. Because at the end of the day, me and you at retirement age, I'm 60, I'll be 61 this year in November. So me and you at the retirement age, well, we can't keep playing with our finances. We got to make sure that every dollar works for us. Every dollar that I have now, I have a financial goal for 5 years while I'll be 65. Then God bless me to get to 65, I'm going to have another financial goal to 75. Because I'm never going to stop working. I'm not going to never retire, because everything I do for myself. I work for myself. I run my own business. I'm an entrepreneur. So I'm going to kindly come to the shop, even I'm 100 years old, because they keep me youthful. I can keep talking to the youth and be impactful to them. And I can give them financial knowledge. I can give real estate knowledge and business knowledge. And also, with the after school program, I'm be teaching kids boxing, judo, and wrestling, jiu-jitsu, 4 arts that I'm involved in, so I can get that back to the youth. So I'm going to do that forever, because they're going to keep me youthful. They're going to keep me strong. They're going to keep me in shape. They're going to keep my mind sharp, because I got to teach these classes. The real estate going to constantly be coming in. So it's going to be up to my daughters what they decide to do with the real estate once I'm gone. And the money in the stock market and the money in cryptocurrency, I have a financial goal for each one of them, called when I get to a certain point, I want to take some of that money out and purchase me a vacation home somewhere overseas. And my mind is right now on Turks and Caicos. But 5 years from now, the house that costs $600,000 over there that I've seen is a two-bedroom condo. It will be like $1 million. So I got to hurry up and accelerate that. I got to get that money within a year, this year, matter of fact. If I can go ahead and get that property on the Turks and Caicos, then I'm going to have me another piece of property somewhere in the Carolinas or the Georgia area where it's going to be warm, so if I want to travel still in the States. So those are my financial goals. So you got to kindly have financial goals with your money. You got to know how much you want to invest, how much you want to invest. That ain't going to put a strain on you. And you got to make that disciplined sacrifice. That's what you got to do. If you don't, you're going to be in a standstill. When I came home in 2005, I started investing in the market, because I first got out here, I had the rears and child support. And the first thing people were like, man, why you got the rear and child support? I thought they'd cut it off. When I went in front of the judge, he said, no, they didn't cut it off, but they should have. But it's still my responsibility to take care of my child. I said I had no problem with that. So I owed like 70-something thousand. And cause back then, child support in the 80s and shit, I paid maybe $100 a week. So he did do me a favor and looked up for me. He cut that in half. But my baby mama, she wanted that. She wanted that. So I was working a job, paying the rears and the interest on the rears. Then I ended up getting a second job. The second job, all that money came to me, and I started investing that in the market. And then my mom threw me an alley-oop. She left me an insurance policy, and I took that money and put some in the stock market and utilized some of the other money, about 2 pieces of rental properties. So that one of the ways I came up. And then there's also another blessing. I got in the game with the housing crash in 2006, 2007, 2008. So property going dollar on a dollar. The house was worth 100,000 when somebody bought it back then. They might get it for 10. Because a lot of people lost them houses. So I got a lot of houses for 15, 20, 30,000. Not all them houses worth over 100 some thousand. And I had them almost 20 years ago. So if I'm renting a property out for $1,500 a month, that $15,000 a year times 10 years at 150. So them 2 pieces of property that made 600,000, but I might have only paid 40,000 for the property back then. And now the value of the property went up. So both of these pieces of property, it actually worth maybe combined $250,000, maybe 150 here, maybe 125 here. So maybe a little over $250,000 for them, just them 2 pieces of properties alone. So that's the way you can always come up. You got to always be trying to find ways to make money while you ain't doing anything. You want to make money by not working hard. You don't want to be a slave. You don't want to be that person that's been working hard all their fucking life just to make a couple dollars. You don't want to be him. You don't want to be her. You know, my thing is, if I can work an hour a week or an hour a month and still make the same money somebody make working 60 hours, that's the person I want to be. I want to have residual income coming in. So when I retire, the money going to come in from cryptocurrency, stock market, the group homes, the real estate, and the shop. So, and the after school program. So I'm going to constantly be having money coming in that I don't want to have to work hard for. The harder I'm working right now, they're going to be in the shop. And then the harder I'm going to work out that after school program, go train a kid for an hour and a half, 2 hours. But that training also keep me healthy. So that's part of my portfolio, my health. So that's a plus for me. So now I got 10 to 15 hours a week that I'm training. So that's really a plus. And that's how you got to always look at stuff. You got to always look at stuff like that. How can I get the most income by doing the less work? You don't want to be that person who say, man, shit, man, we got to work like 20 days straight before we get a day off. Oh, man, we got to do this, man. Oh, man, we got to do this, man. I put in 60 hours this week. Now you're dead tired. Half of your life is gone. You don't have no time for your family. You don't have no time for your friends. You don't have no fucking time for yourself. And it beating down your body. I seen my parents' body get beat down from working and retiring for Ford Motor Company. My father ended up getting stage 4 cancer. He died. Then my mom got stage 4 cancer time. I never seen my parents take their Social Security because they both died before they were 65 or 67. And that money never came to the family. They done pour maybe combined millions and millions of dollars into Social Security. But when you die, your family do not inherit that. It should be a law in place that when your family member die, your parents or grandparent, just say they put $2 million in Social Security. They should write the siblings a check. Say 4 kids, just say they put $2 million in there. We should have got $500,000. Then it's over. But they keep your money, the government. So that's another way they play you. That's why they keep trying to extend it. Oh, you can't pour your money out to 65, 67, now 70. They telling people they want y'all to work to 70. They know through history the average man and woman live anywhere from 70 to 75. Somebody hit 80, he did great. Or she did great. Somebody hit 90, man, they awesome. Somebody hit 100, we praising like a motherfucker. And they know that. So if the average person gonna die by the time they 75, we only got 5 years to pay you Social Security. And then with that Social Security, guess what? You only gonna get anywhere from 15 to 1600 to 2200. Or might get 2600. It's all depending how much time you put in the workforce. But it's a game, and we don't see this. So why nobody ever put a law and say, okay, when your parents or grandparents die, why we don't get that money that they're putting there? Why do y'all get to keep it? Why do the federal government have the privilege to keep my parents' fucking money? That don't sound crazy to y'all? I know it might sound crazy. It sounds crazy to me. Do the federal government get to keep my parents' hard-earned money that they pull into the stock market. I mean, pour it into Social Security. But that's the way they go. That's why you got to take care of you. The young you got to work hard to take care of the old you. I missed a great part of my life in the federal system. So when I came out, I was an older individual. I was in my 40s. So I had to grind hard for a middle-aged man to make sure the old man is wealthy or set by the time I hit 65, 70, 75, 80, and 90. I don't want to be at Walmart shaking nobody's hands. I don't want to be a cashier at 80. I don't want to be sitting there doing it. No, I want to be relaxing. I want to be doing the things I want to do. I want to do all the traveling I want to do. And that's not bragging or boasting, but that's the way you got to set yourself up. A lot of parents don't leave their kid with anything, though. Hey, Strokes, I'm going to show you something. I got a blessing. My mother did throw me an alley-oop, but you can look it up. 100. Thank y'all for the likes. Everybody tap, 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 tap. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, Strokes. You can look it up. Maybe 100% of African Americans do not leave generational wealth. We live in an old house, an old car, some old ass faded clothes, and some goddamn furniture that's 35 years old. Yeah, you might still have Big Mama house, but it's in the hood. It needed a lot of work to it. And then she done took loans out on it. So the house only worth $60,000, but she took $100,000 worth of loans out on it. No, black people don't leave that. You can Google it. See what percentage of African Americans leave generational wealth for their kids. It gonna pop up. I guarantee maybe 100% we don't. I never heard anybody ever say they got wealthy of their parents or grandparents' death. Nobody. They might say they left me insurance policy. How much was the insurance policy? $100,000, but I had to split it between 5 people. So y'all took home all $20,000 as you paid for the funeral. Now, if that's some money, yes. But what we're gonna do with it when we find out you're illiterate? We're gonna sit there and buy some clothes, some jewelry, trick, buy some chicken rings, be at the bar and popping bottles. So who's doing work, parents or the government and your parent? Well, I feel the government is not doing the work. Because I see how they play the game, so that's why I got into the stock market. So I'm going to utilize what they utilize. The parents are the worst, because parents are not raising their kids to have a financial literacy mindset. They have them have a materialistic mindset. Because soon your kid is a day old, that first fucking outfit on, where he can have on onesies, you got him in a pair of fucking Jordans. None of these parents trying to buy kids 2 or 3 years old and designer clothes. This fucking baby a year old, you having a motherfucking party and spend $2,000 or $3,000 on the motherfucker like he gonna remember this shit. You taking kids to Disney World at 5 or 6 years old like they gonna remember this shit. So we don't do the right thing on money. Man, I'm following you right now. Speaking the truth. I'm gonna follow you back too. And I try to tell people, if you look at how we are now, if a person Hey, Strokes, how old are you and do you have any children? What's your youngest kid age? If you have any children, and what's your age? I'm going to show you how you can fucking make your kid a millionaire without even struggling by making them a millionaire. By the time they not by 18, but by the time they 30, they can be a millionaire. If you start investing $500 a month in the S&P 500 for your child, by the time they get 30 years of age, they'll be a millionaire. 35, one kid is 12. If from the age of 12, right, to 42, if you sit there and put $500 in an investment account for your daughter, by the time she's 42, she'll be a millionaire. If you take $1,000 a month and invest it for yourself in an S&P 500 ETF or index fund or mutual fund, you will be a millionaire. So it's still ways to make your kids wealthy. All you got to do is put $500 a month and that girl fund. By the time she is 40 years old, your daughter will be a fucking millionaire. And she's still young at that age. And then once she starts getting a job, once she starts seeing this money coming in, because you already been investing for 10 years before, by the time she's 21 to 22, 23, she getting out of college, she going to see how far that account grew. All she got to do is mess another 500. This shit is not no rocket science stuff. We not taught this. We're going to go look at a drill video. We're going to look at rap shit all day long. We're going to still talk about some gang shit. We're going to still talk about some prostitution stuff, OnlyFans stuff, who getting high, who got the baddest car in the city, who got the nicest clothes. Man, that shit is ludicrous. It's still dudes around me that's in their 30s and 40s still on gang stuff. And you got a family, and you got kids, and you're married. You still on that shit? And then you wonder why you're so far behind. Then the first thing we say as African American, oh, white supremacy, systemic racism. Man, anybody try to hear that, man? We had a black president. We got black congressmen. We got black senators. We got black state representatives. We got black city councils. We got some of the most wealthiest black people in the world in America. Man, anybody trying to hear that shit? I came home from prison almost 20 years and became a millionaire. I'm not trying to hear none of that shit you talking about. Systematic racism. Your ass just ladies, you ain't doing the right thing to point the finger. The music and they put it up to the furthest behind. YN don't have nobody else to look up to. Right, because so you really think about where you from, my brother? I'm from Ohio. You really think about it. Most of the YNs now, their daddies are middle-aged YNs, still acting just like them. ATL, yeah, my sister live out there by the new stadium. Out there by Windy Hill Road. It's closer to Marietta, but it's right. She lived not too far from Papados and Papacitas. And we got to the point now that we catering to these children because we acting just like them as parents. These kids don't have anything to look up. So when they got labeled YNs, the parents didn't even care. And y'all calling them YNs. Not you per se, but calling them people YNs. So the image that they see in a poverty-stricken old G that might be their father or their uncle that's still in the hood, that's still doing the same shit. Because I'm 12 to 15. I might be 30 or 35. So I'm still like a peer to them. And we still hanging out doing the same shit, wearing the same clothes, dressing the same way, got the same lingo. See, when I go around my nieces and nephew, and grandniece and nephew, they see Unc. They ain't gonna see me do anything wrong in front of them. I'm not gonna talk about nothing wrong. I'm always gonna talk positivity in their life. I don't get high and I'm a casual drinker, so they never see me drink and I don't get high. They don't see me argue. They don't see me cuss. They don't see me belittle motherfucker. I keep it moving because I want them to have somebody they can look up because I went down that rabbit hole, went to prison. I don't want my grandnephews and nephews in prison. YN parent with the loser in the past and really put no work in, reason why we still around. Right. And then you look at, and now that they're trying to act like a big dog calling shots and telling lies. Right. And think about it. If I was a young individual on the block, if I see an old head is out there and I done passed that old head, you can't tell me nothing. See, when we got in the game in the 80s, we had kingpins out there. We didn't just pass them. Now, I might have caught up to them, but they had businesses. They had a lot of shit going on. Now, you'll see an old head that's 40 years old. He been on the block since he was 12. He ain't got shit. He might be an addict. He ain't got shit. He living house to house. He ain't got a car. He might have a couple outfits because the girl tricking with him. That he had to pull up on because he had to find somebody to be his next mama. So why would I listen to you, bro? You ain't never left the motherfucking block in 20 years. I'm going to listen to that dude who run the business. I'm listening to that dude who came out of the prison system, who working, who got into a skilled trade, who started a business, who ain't trying to go back. I'm not going out here and listen to a motherfucker who ain't doing no better than me. And kids can see that, so that's why they don't respect them. But when they come in here and talk to me, 85% of the YNs that come in this shop, they're going to respect me because they tell I'm a business owner. A lot of them know my background because once they put my name out there, people going, yeah, dude, we're getting money back there. Yeah, dude, the OG. So it might be their parents or grandparents telling them that. So they're going to have a little respect for them. Then they're going to see that I've evolved into a different kind of creature. If I was still out there doing what they're doing, they're nickel and diming, driving a high price, premium, luxury car, they're 10 years old. Oh, I got a Mercedes-Benz. What year? 2016. Man, that car 10 years old. Man, that ain't a Mercedes-Benz no more. That's just a car. But they try to pull up, dude. You pulling up in the dude with some Superfly suits when they're 10 years old. Them kids ain't gonna listen to that. But when I pull up like them, when I dress on a man level, they see me certain spot and they see the respect you get, and they say I didn't revert backwards. They gonna say, damn, how can I catch dude? But y'all young dudes now, man, y'all killing the game, even though I wish I wasn't in the game, and take some of that money and use that money to the right, to your advantage. But shit, y'all killing the game, even with the females. The females the one out here making capital. They the one got the group home. They the one got the daycare. They the one got the behavioral health agencies. They the one got the women got the bars now. Niggas, dudes are pulling up at women bars. The women have everything. These women are out here killing the game. These women are out here killing the game. So now there's a lot of African American women. What's up, Mr. Jackson? Reverend Jackson? There's a lot of everybody follow Reverend Jackson. So a lot, and Anthony Hall. So a lot of young women are showing a new wave of young women that you can be an entrepreneur. You don't have to be a stripper. You don't have to be a prostitute. You don't have to sell your soul. A lot of the young women are entrepreneurs now. Then the black man, not to put it out, but the black man have reverted backwards. The women are the breadwinner now. The women got the household. The women got the insurance. The women got the cars. The women got the insurance. The women got the food. The women had everything. The women even had assets to take care of a kid without having you, so she can kick you to the curb. It ain't the government. The government had nothing to do with that. What happened, the black man had lost his superior power in the household because he don't have shit. Women are the new men in today. Sad to say. Yes, they are. Because the women had the hustle mentality. Because remember, a woman is made from our rib. A woman is constantly thinking. A woman is constantly evolving. So a woman going to always try to find a man that's better than her. So once a woman see what you're doing and pick that game up, she focuses on that. See, we still focus on getting high, partying, and how many girls we done knocked down so we put a notch on our belt. I done been there. I did the same shit. But the women back in our days, they didn't have that mentality because our mothers didn't have to show them that mentality. Our mother was showing them how to be housewives, how to be a good girlfriend, how to be a good mother. Now, the modern day women mothers are showing them how to be a hustler, how to be an entrepreneur. Even they got to go to OnlyFans or strip bars or sell their body, the mother them teaching them how to get some money consistently. And they just take it to another level. And the black man had failed them. So when people tell me, oh, look at the government, man, I ain't trying to hear about the government taking nobody out of your household. You didn't want to be there anyway, be a father. Then you were just serving for her because she working hard, trying to do everything for the family. You sitting back playing with your Xbox. She the one is a breadwinner. She the one is making the capital. She the one know what to do with the money. These women all over the United States of America is balling. I started smoking, only drank wine soda. I smoked for 18 years. Zach, family, just really think about it. Look how much money you'll save if you stop getting high. Look how much money you'll save if you start smoking. Look how much money you'll save if you start partying and drinking. You would save a lot of money. A lot of money. Because nowadays, if people drinking and getting high, if they're in a relationship, that person is drinking and getting high with them. So that's double your money. That money can be invested. Those cigarettes, that weed, that liquor, alcohol, all that shit, that money can be invested. That money can be invested. Like I told people, I haven't bought a brand new car since 2013. I'm driving a 2014 Equinox. Since 2014. Now, do I want to purchase me a new car? Yes. Have I been saving for the new car? Yes. Have I been looking for a new car since 2000 what? Maybe the last 3 years I've been looking for a new car. And do I want, people say buying a new car is a bad investment. It is, but I can afford to buy a new car. And I feel that I'm in the fourth quarter, maybe the fifth quarter of overtime of my life. I feel it's time for me to really treat myself because I don't want nobody else to live better than me on my death. You got an insurance policy coming, but I also want to make sure I leave yourself, but I also want to make sure I enjoy my last days on the planet. So my heart is set on getting me a new car, but I work hard for it. But I don't think a person like your age or whatever should buy a new car. If the car know that $1,500, put that motherfucking money into an S&P 500. Because once you put that $1,500 of money in S&P 500 within 6 years and that car paid off, that car was a $70,000 car, now it's worth $30,000. But now that money you didn't put in the S&P 500, that money actually might be worth $100,000, $150K that you the person in the car, so you didn't double your money. And then you can buy a car, like I said, later on in life. Because like I said, a car really don't play no significant role in my life. I really don't need it. But like I said, I'm going to read all the people here. Follow Stokes by EOV. Follow User, get a name user, and open account. Follow Sylvia. Follow Mr. Jackson, Reverend Jackson, Black Sheep, and Thomas Wilson. Because the more we start embedding this shit into the new youth. Now, Mr. Jackson, I got the utmost respect for you and your family for the last 50 years. Your family iconic in this community. I would talk to some guys in the shop And I don't know how this stuff kindly turned into debate with these young 30 and 40-year-old individuals or younger. I said, man, we got to start concentrating more on education, not sports. This shit turned into an argument. Why would you concentrate on sports when we know the history of sports, that maybe only 10% of the African American people make it to the greatest level, the pinnacle, where they can get some money from it? You only had 300 plus jobs in the NBA. The NFL, I don't know right offhand how many people have in the NFL or baseball. How many people do you think in your community gonna make it? I told dude, I said, my whole family played sports all my life. The farther my brothers went, into college. The further I went in sport, into the military. None of them made it to the pro. My whole neighborhood was athlete. Right, Mr. Jackson? You was an athlete. Our whole neighborhood was athlete. How many of us ever made it even to college? And you said one injury away. Call it a day, exactly. How many of us even went to college? How many of us even graduated who focused on sports from grade school? How many of us that we know from our community even have a college degree? Yeah, you might have went one semester and couldn't hack it because you're not a superstar in college. They want to put you on a bench. Now you leave school. So let's focus on education. No. I'll take that back. Let's focus on God. Let's focus on family. Let's focus on education. Then let's focus on sport. Sports is minute. I'm reading a book about the Jews. The Jewish guy said you can't find maybe 2 people that have a name that ever played sports that's Jewish. And they named him. And he said the one guy, he wasn't even Jewish. But he had the Star of David on his shorts when he used to box. Dude named Matt Baer, whatever his name was. But he was a great fighter. He in the history books. He said, we base our life on ownerships. He said, why you want to play basketball, football, baseball when you own the teams? Then he put all the teams and business that they own related to sports. I'm like, wow. He said only 1% of any Jew ever did manual labor. He said when you're talking about clothes, we got on a $10 shirt, a $5 pair of pants that's 15 years old, and driving a Honda. You showing your wealth on your body, but you don't have any income. Then he said, when you buying your kids Xboxes and tennis shoes, we buying stocks for our children. He said, when you buy your kid his first car 16 or 17, we buying our children their first rental property. I'm like, wow. He said, by the time a kid is 5 years old, they already know what a stock is. They already know what an asset and a liability is. He said, we teach them from birth about finance. He said, you would never find a Jewish kid who don't know about finance. I'm like, wow. Good talk to you, big bro. Walking into the appointment. Appreciate your game. Yeah, I'm going to follow you too, fam. Thank you. So we got to start teaching our children that it ain't always about materialistic stuff. Because once you start buying it and putting that money to an investment account for your children, and your children see that money grow, they're like, shit, this is cool. I'm glad my daddy did that. I'm glad my papa do this. I haven't bought my granddaughter anything since she was 8 or 9 years old. I had a conversation with her. She didn't fully understand it. I said, look, this is what I'm going to do. I end up sending her mom $150 a month because she live in Detroit. So that $150 a month, she can get her little hair done if she choose to. If she want to do her little baby nails, she can. So she ain't got to wear all. She want to take her to a movie, there's paw treat. Then I said, I'm going to put up another $150 a month in an investment account. So she's 17 now. So I've been putting up $100 to $300. No, that's a lie. I put $100 a month, but on birthdays it go to $300, and then on Christmas it go to another $150. So for 10 years I've been investing $150,000 into the S&P 500 for my granddaughter. Now when she got about 11 to 12, I showed her how much money she had. She thought she just could pull it out and get some. Well, give me some of that money. No. It's an end game to this, baby. Papa got you. Papa got you. So I'm going to keep investing that. So I told her once she graduate from college, because she's in college right now, Grand Valley State, to be a lawyer. Once she get her first degree, not associate, when she get her bachelor's degree, I told her I'm going to take it up to $500 a month. I said, now you out here in the workforce. You mentioned $500 a month. You would be 25, 20. We're going to just say she'll be 30. So you mess that $1,000 a month all the way up to your 50, you'll be a millionaire. And I'm going to do that for the rest of my life. Make that monthly contribution when she get her first degree, and she got to do the same thing. So she ain't got to worry about if something happen to Paw, well then Paw going to leave you. And then also, she already had good credit. She been piggybacking off my business credit since she was 14. So she got a high 7-figure credit score. She got like 760. And she like an 18-year-old kid. Now, she don't know unless she went out there trying to get a credit card. They gave it to her like that, and she started messing her credit because I don't check behind her. But I know what I did for her, so she don't realize that credit, and while we talking about credit, it's going to put her in a good financial situation. Like I told her, the first thing you're going to buy once you get your job, you buy your house. We ain't thinking about no damn car. That car you got now, you can drive it another 5 or 6 years, is a Honda. You got 140,000 miles. You can drive it another 5 or 6 years. We're going to get your money. You're going to work in that bit and at your job as a lawyer, wherever you're at. Your first investment with your credit going to be a house. And we're going to start paying on that house by the time you're 27, 28. So by the time you're 50, we're going to have that money paid off, or before. You ain't going to be buying no cars, no clothes, and all that shit. No, but her mindset changed. Now, is she kind of materialistic? But her materialistic is still affordable. She like Old Navy. She like H&M, stuff like that. So that shit's still affordable. And I done took her to like Target and Kohl's. She done went off in that mug. So she's still cool, cause the little girl have a little style, so she know how to make cheap shit look expensive. You know, and then she will wear like Air Maxes, and she do got some of the Jordan 1s and stuff like that with the little girl wearing Uggs. But a lot of her money, she getting real cheap. And then my oldest daughter, she got secondhand clothes. She sell antique and unique clothes that she gets from secondhand store. She got on that. So now my granddaughter, she go to a lot of these stores, secondhand stores and businesses, and get this shit. She might go on there. Some of the stuff she done showed me online, it still had a brand new tag on that. People took it to the Goodwill and secondhand store. So she ain't on an image, and that's a good thing about it, because the way you raise them and the way they gonna finish. Like, I started hustling as an adult. My brother started hustling as an adult. My mother had 5 children. Well, I'm gonna say 6 because my cousin lived with her. All 5 of them went to college. I went straight to the military. None of us ever took a break from high school. So I don't get my life together. My brother went to Eastern Michigan. One went to Sinclair. My sister went to UT. Other one went to Owens, then Lords. My cousin Don, she went to Detroit Mercy College. So we all did something excel. We all started getting in trouble once the game came out there. I was grown, my brothers were grown. So that what happened to us. But our mothers then were leading us on the right path, because my mother really was on education. My father really didn't. And I ain't going to say he cared or not, because I don't remember him going to a parent-teacher conference. But we ain't going to come in there with no C's. My sister was class valedictorian. My brother was runner-up. No, they not accepting that. I don't think nobody in my family ever had lower than a B. We all was on an honor roll. I don't think nobody, and that's not the bragging, but I don't think none of them were ever not on the honor roll. I don't think nobody in my family even went on a dean's list in college, except for me, because like I said, I didn't go to college, went in the military. But when I was in prison, when I got my degree, I was on the dean list. And when I was in Owens, I was on the dean list. My mother wasn't playing that. And all our friends, they had an educating background. Most of our friends that grew up in our community, even Mr. Jackson might have went to college. I'm not sure, but most people that was in our community went to college. We still went out here hanging out doing dumb shit, you know. And I ain't gonna say all of them, but I think most of us have. Yeah, I'm gonna have to break it down, y'all. I got an appointment, so I got somebody just came in. But like I said, man, just try to stay focused, man. Don't focus on nothing. No, don't focus on people. No, focus on you. Focus on the resources you want to put out into your family. Make sure you do the right thing for your family. Make sure your kids are financially stable. Make sure you put them a nest egg. Make sure that your family gonna be on point, because at the end of the day, you're the only one that can make your family great. You want the one to lead your family to greatness. You don't want to be that one who ain't gonna do that. You don't want nobody else to take control of your household. You know, if you good with your numbers, you good with business and all that shit, you put the work in. So I'm gonna get up out of here, because like I said, somebody just came in. I appreciate everybody rocking with me for the hour, and peace out, Os.